Today we're going to go over how you can use Claude Routines and the things that you can automate and how to set this up, how to use it, and how to integrate this on your flow, on your own business. So this is a new feature that Claude just released, and you essentially can automate tasks using Claude, so using AI. So you can essentially just give it a report and ask it for a presentation about the report and do this automatically. So always send this information to Claude every week, for example, and it will just run through the flow and give you the result. And of course, this can run on the cloud or even locally on your desktop. So you can see right here how it works. So you can just create new routine and then describe what Claude should do in each section. So this is just text, so you can just talk to it and you select the model and schedule when it's going to happen. So you can schedule it daily or weekly, something like that, or when a GitHub event happens, or even when a API is triggered. So this is pretty much industry standard for triggers, and this is pretty open, so you can integrate this with any app you have. And you can even add connectors right here, so pre-installed connectors like Slack, Asana, things like that. So as an example here, it says every night at 2 a.m. pull the top bug from linear, attempt a fix, and open a draft pull request. And just by giving this description, Claude will set this up for you automatically. And of course, this is essentially a way to simplify routines and cron jobs. You can do this all by hand using NA10 for basically cheaper and using any model you want. I don't think you can use other models than Claude's right here, but I guess this is fine. This is just a trade-off that you make for the speed, and you lock in to Claude models and server if you want. But here are some examples that they show right here. So schedule routines, backlog management, triage new issues, label, assign, post summary to Slack, documents drift, so scan merge pull requests weekly, flag docs that reference changed APIs, and open update PRs. These of course are all for development, so specifically for coding. But you can essentially do this for any kind of task. So you can see right here that routines are available for Claude Code Users Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise plans, and with Claude Code on the web. So if you open up Claude right here, you can just select Code, and you're going to have this Routines tab right here. And here we can see that there are some templates already. So briefing, email triage, system health check, issue triage, things like that. So this is all these are all templates that you can choose and will come as a pre-existing template. But today we're going to create one from scratch. So we're going to use the Claude app right here, so the Claude desktop app, and we can see right here on the code section routines. And we're going to create a new routine. So you can see that we can choose remote or local. In this case, I'm going to choose local. So this routine that I'm going to create is essentially a weekly summary of the news that I gather. So here I have my executive assistant, and every day I run the morning research. So it searches for the web for things that happened and give me a summary of them. So you can see right here the top 7 news of every day. And essentially what I want is to create a weekly report. So it's going to take the last 7 files and create a weekly report with the best news of the week. So I can essentially create a weekly newsletter for my viewers and subscribers, things like that. And even for myself, if I missed something that was big and I didn't make content about it. So here you have it. I've just created this very simple routine. So let's see how it works. So the name is weekly news report, and description is send me an in-depth report of the most noticeable news of the week. So the prompt is very straightforward, so very simple. Take the last 7 days of research and select the top 10 news stories of the week. Conduct in-depth research on each one and keep only those that are legitimate and valuable. Discard any that turn out to be false or misleading. Then send me a Discord message, a Telegram message with all the in-depth information you found formatted like an email. It should include a subject line with a strong hook and a body full of valuable insights about what happened that week, along with practical information on how people can apply it to their day-to-day lives. So I'm going to try it out with Haiku. That is a simpler model, but consumes less tokens, and this is just a summarization tool and research tool. So research and summarization tool with a little bit of valuable insights. So this isn't a very simple task, but it shouldn't be that hard either. So let's try it out with Haiku. And I've just selected the research folder that has essentially all this research right here. And I don't even know if it is going to work. Let's try it out. I have each file named by the day, so I believe it will be able to find the last week and execute this task correctly. So let's put weekly and on Sunday, 9 a.m. That's okay. Let's create this. Okay, so it was created. Send me that report right here every Sunday, 9 a.m. So let's try it out. Today, Saturday, run now. And I don't even know if it's going to send me a Telegram message. I didn't even give it any connection. So it actually didn't give me a way to connect to anything. I don't know if I need to use the cloud mode. Let's try it out to create a cloud routine very quickly. So remote routine, yeah. Okay, so if I want to use to connect to other events, I need to use the cloud mode, but I don't know where it's going to give me the answer right here. Let's wait it out and see what happens. And if we click right here, we can see what is going on, what is happening. Okay, so it is actually trying to find the Telegram API key. So no Telegram envars found. Okay, so it didn't found the Telegram envars, but it is trying to save into a weekly report file. So you can just allow it. And it is always asking for permissions. So okay, it created the report. So it is giving me my limitations. So it is saying the limitation right here. So this is actually very nice. Let's try to open this up on anti-gravity. Okay, so it's saved right here. And yeah, so this is how you create a routine. So you can run this locally, and this is basically you run an agent on a cron job. And let me just double check if the usage is okay. As you can see right here, it didn't include a routine run on the usage. I believe this is because I ran it locally and not on the cloud. It probably used some session right here. Yeah, it definitely used some session right here, so 12% used. So yeah, this was actually pretty straightforward, and I believe anyone can use this. Anyone can now create an agent that triggers weekly or even by any webhook. So this is super interesting, and we can see the results right here. So the top one story was Anthropic passed OpenAI in revenue for the first time, and the action right here is essentially just to be aware that Anthropic is actually it's probably better than OpenAI right now. And of course, we can just change the model or even change the prompt so it is more guided towards something action related. So maybe even just research for tools and things like that. And this, I just created a newsletter basically for in less than 5 minutes. So this is pretty good, and this is getting easier and easier to the everyday consumer that isn't technical to use this. So if you aren't use this already, you are missing the point. So this basically means that any business can essentially just integrate this to the workflow that they have. So as you can see here, it says that the pro users can run up to 5 routines per day, and this is actually quite a lot. And the max users are 15 routines a day, and teams and enterprise users can run up to 25 routines a day. I believe this enterprise level has a ton of value for any kind of business. You can essentially just enable any person in a business to create workflows essentially just by chatting with Claude. And of course, this is super valuable if you have this knowledge, and you can essentially just double or triple your productivity, or just double and triple your workers' productivity by using this. So yeah, I don't see why not to use this kind of thing in your business. And I hope you guys just learned something new right here and how to set this up. And I see you guys in the next video.